Not only do I have a penis and a vagina, all right, I have a cloaca. I've got
Wow. Oh shit.
an inverted butthole. Figure that one out. That's a mental math.
I'm very confused. I'm not even questioning this anymore.
Basically, shit comes in and doesn't go out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in shock right now. I don't even know what to say. I'm appalled. You can tell me this.
And I'm hard.
I'm appalled by the butthole part. I didn't know this. And the cloaca. So, what are we talking about? What are you telling me? I'm going to try to steer away from this conversation.
I think this is the best intro we've ever come up with.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
is
best
it?
one. Best one to date.
Okay. All right. I have a ghost vagina.
You see,
and
I
a
found
ghost
out.
rock.
Not...
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
So.
Get it? Because everybody's all like, ghosts don't exist.
It all depends on whether you believe or not.
Yeah.
It's all on you. If you believe it's there, you can feel it. But if you don't believe it's there, you ain't gonna feel nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, not a zilch.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. What are you telling me today?
Oh, I was gonna tell you that getting a cloaca counts as gender-affirming care.
It does?
Well, it's not really gender-affirming care specifically. It's more like...
I can become a bird now?
You can become more bird-like. This isn't gender-affirming care. This is more like species-affirming care.
Okay.
If you identify more as a bird, you can be a bird. The options are now available thanks to science.
Can I identify as a ghost?
You never needed surgery for that.
No.
No.
That's true. Just ask my parents. I don't exist.
But,
Did I steer away from the conversation about buttholes and cloacas yet?
Nope.
Damn it. I thought that would work by being all depressed sounding.
Depressed sounding?
Yeah.
Don't we love depression?
Yeah.
I thought we loved depression in this house.
What's that mean? What's depression?
Living with it, not suffering from it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yay, perspective.
You got my brain on a human being with a cloaca. What the fuck? I don't even know what that looks like. I never looked.
Don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Google can be your best friend and your worst enemy sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'm good. That's why I won't go to 4chan.
No, thank you.
And I'll stay away from the side of Reddit where they warn you. They warn you before you click.
At least Reddit is kind enough to censor stuff.
That is true.
As long as you're not brave enough to go and unclick that option.
Yeah.
You can decide to change your mind.
You can.
But,
that is true. That is very true. That is facts right there.
Today on Victim Matrix Victor Matrix.
Victor Matrix now? We changed it to Victor? Who's Victor?
We don't want to promote victim mentality. We want to promote victor mentality. I am the victor. Okay. What a bullshit way to put that. Wow. Welcome to the Victim Matrix podcast. We are your two hosts. My name is Vera. My pronouns are she, her.
I'm Raven. I identify as a ghost now. No, I'm they, them. Hello. Sorry. Yep.
Well, speaking of ghosts, we're going to, well, not really ghosts. We're actually going to talk about, we get a little bit of cryptid action as well as some UFO action.
Yeah. This is on my speed now. Let's go. Let's get into this.
In the great Northeast, Hudson Valley area, anybody in the New York region may kind of remember when this happened, but we're going to go all the way back to 1993.
1993?
1993.
Why did I think this was recent?
Well, because people still claim
3 years
sightings.
Old. No wonder why I didn't hear. Wait, I just gave away by a year.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
Whatever.
I don't give a shit. Colin, sorry.
Because there's still phenomenon happening to this day, and it kind of gets lumped
still in that location?
Well, in the Hudson Valley area, there's going to be sightings. And because it was so well covered by the news at that time, that's why people still to this day kind of cling to it. They kind of still tell the story because it's a lore now. It's lore. It's all built in now. If you have any kind of a sighting in the Hudson Valley area, it is all lumped in together. It's kind of like,
I can't believe I haven't seen any of this.
You could say it's not quite a hot spot. It's more like a warm.
A warm spot?
If we're gonna give it like a oven setting, we're gonna give it medium to high heat.
Oh, like the Dutch oven I'm gonna give you later?
Hell yeah. I'm ripping and roaring. I'm ready. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go.
Oh my god. Okay. Seriously though, this a lot of people fucking saw this, all right? We're going
I
to go
feel left out. I wish I saw some aliens.
I wish I was old enough to really understand
Same.
what was going on at that
Shit.
time.
Yeah.
But this happened right on I-87.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of talking. Go on, sorry.
Hundreds of people
I'm still dealing with
witnessed
toxic
this.
fumes. My brain stopped working after you farted in my face.
You consented. You said yes. I
No.
could tell. It was with your eyes. Nonverbal consent.
All right, I9.
I'm not
Sorry.
gaslighting you right now.
No, not at all. No, I couldn't
But-
even tell.
But.
But. In the what? In the butt. Sorry.
It wasn't just UFOs. It was also a bizarre winged humanoid creature that
Mothman?
locals started calling, no, not Mothman,
Oh.
the Hudson Valley Gargoyle.
Oh, bullshit. Mothman's cooler.
Mothman is indeed cooler,
I like Mothman.
but we got a triangle-shaped UFO.
There's too many people that talk about seeing the triangle form.
That is common. I will
That is a
agree with you
common
on
one.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or the pill
triangular
form.
shape, because you know what it also it makes people think of the military has a triangle shaped fighter jet that's similar.
You're right, yeah.
And
Maybe it was them.
when we go through the article, you realize that like a lot of people made that comparison, that it looked like that except much bigger.
Oh.
But also the size varies from report to report. So
Okay.
there's a lot of things that we could attribute it to.
Okay.
So here we go. All right.
Mhm.
Modern interest in UFOs or UAPs, you know,
Mhm.
because that's what we're calling them now, apparently. I prefer UFO. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we go any further,
Mhm.
unidentified flying object or unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I like both. But I'd choose UFO. UFO is a lot better.
I don't
I'm used
think
to it.
UAP destigmatizes the UFO, and I
Yeah.
also think the term UFO has kind of been destigmatized through, you know, just osmosis of information. Like we all are just kind of desensitized already to UFOs.
That's true.
It's pretty normalized at this point. I think for aliens, but that's but
the
yeah.
aliens need to show up already and do some things, not just show up and look at everyone. They need to actually just do something.
Long before the Hudson Valley became a UFO hub, the region already had an admittedly spooky reputation. The area even inspired American author Washington Irving to write the classic Gothic tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, holy
Shit. Right in New York.
Oh, wow.
Although Irving's Headless Horseman may be the Hudson Valley's most famous literary spirit, the area is also host to many alleged real hauntings.
Nice.
Among the most intriguing true Hudson Valley ghost stories is a tale of Anna Dorothea Swartz. I'll be honest, I've never heard this one. Swartz was dragged to death behind the horse of a wealthy Catskill landowner in 1755. Nearly a century later, the stretch of land where Swartz met her death was said to be haunted by a spectral horse dragging a hideous skeleton.
Oh shit! I want to see that.
Right?
I'm gonna go camp out over there. You know, I'm gonna go take a flight over there, cause you know.
It is interesting to me that 100 years later is when people start claiming to have seen this.
Yeah, it took that long.
It took that long. And for 1755, like
maybe half of them thought they were hallucinating, and they didn't want to tell anyone because they were like, "Someone's gonna accuse me of being schizophrenic. I'm not telling a fucking soul. I'm gonna keep this to myself."
Right,
they went home. They did, you know, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, the world wasn't quite so accepting of these types of ideas until, I don't know.
It's true. I'm not sure.
They kind of just became like fables, you know.
Yeah.
But other famous hauntings include a ghostly singer who can be heard in the wings of the historical Tarrytown Music Hall, and the apparition of Sybil Harris King, who haunts the Tarrytown's King House Mansion. Strange lights have been seen in the Hudson River since the 18th century, according to the Ellenville historian Richard McPhillips. Quote, In the 1700s, these sailors were going up and down the Hudson River from New York City to Albany, and at night they would see these unusual lights on both sides of the river. The Pine Bush Chronicles they were afraid of. A lot of the sailors were kept in line because if they screwed up, the threat was that they were going to throw them over to land, and they'd have to deal with these lights at night.
What were they claiming these lights were? They were
They
just
didn't
talking
know.
about it. Oh, okay.
They did not know.
Interesting.
And especially in the 1700s, like 18th century, like what do you think they thought it was? Like they
Good
just
point.
were scared of it. They didn't
Could
understand
be
it.
a deep sea creature.
Oh yeah, Nessie.
Maybe.
It's Nessie. Nessie's here.
It has little lights on, you know. That's Koika. I don't know. They call it a Koika.
Nessie was getting festive during the holiday season.
Yeah, why not?
She just wanted to get a little bit of Christmas holiday cheer going.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
According to the UFO researcher Linda Zimmerman, gotta say, not very common to have female ufologists, but we welcome you.
Very much so.
Some of the first documented UFO sightings in the Hudson Valley occurred in July of 1909. Citing contemporary newspaper reports, Zimmerman stated that the craft, referred to as an airship, flew only at night in a manner impossible for the aircraft of the era, and was seen moving from town to town along the Hudson River. In 1953, young Hank Vanderbeck of Saugerties was playing with his friends on a warm sunny day when he saw something unusual in the sky. Vanderbeck would describe the object as cigar-shaped and tapered at both ends.
Cigar-shaped?
Cigar-shaped.
Cigar-shaped.
I mean, that sounds like something that a kid from 1955 would describe
good point.
it as.
Yeah, fair.
Or 1953, rather. Hoops of alternating red and green light encircled the 300-foot-long craft.
Red and green?
Red and green. Maybe it was Christmas. No, wait, it was June.
Yeah.
Some people do that.
Yeah.
Christmas in July.
But if it is aliens, why would they have red and green? They're aware of stoplights. Right?
Maybe they're trying to tell us something.
They might be.
Stop.
Yeah.
Go. Stop.
Pay attention.
Go.
Be aware.
Stop. Go.
Or we're in the Matrix. This is all not real. None of this real.
None of this is real. We're just a cluster of tetrahedrons.
Shit.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. My inner Jim Carrey came out for a moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I haven't done nearly enough mushrooms to to start behaving that way. He says it hung in the air over Saugerties for 20 minutes, caused a minor panic. Fighter jets nearby Stewart Air Force Base were dispatched, but the object sped away at an incredible rate of speed as they approached. Which means that multiple people claim to have saw this thing.
Yeah.
Now, I could go on and on about other UFO phenomenon.
Yeah.
But I think we're both...
I'm at a loss for words. I'm just intrigued. Aliens.
I will bring up this one. Ellen Crystal makes contact. She's a UFO researcher and author, largely responsible for bringing attention to the Hudson Valley sightings. Her 1991 book, Silent Invasion, is often credited with encouraging witnesses to come forward with their stories and opening public discourse about UFO activity. So in 1982, the sightings begin. As detailed in Night Siege by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, very well known, Philip J. Imbrogno, and Bob...
Fry?
I know, right? And Bob Pratt. Minutes before midnight on December 31st, 1982, a retired New York City police officer was celebrating the new year with his wife over a bottle of champagne.
Good for them. Why do they gotta share this shit? I don't give a fuck what you're doing with your wife. Are they gonna share that they were fucking and then an alien decided to show up and
I almost
join
misread
them?
that. I almost misread it as a battle of champagne.
Oh.
Gives a whole new meaning.
Can we battle with champagne? Did they just shaking it up, spray each other in the face?
That actually sounds like a lot of fun. I want to do that this year. We're doing that.
All right.
It's decided. Having recently moved to their home in Kent, New York, the former cop decided to take another bottle outside to smash it against the house as, to christen the
Yeah,
home. That's
it's
so
so
fuck.
dumb.
What a waste. What a waste.
It must be nice to have that kind of money. Just
To just
wasting.
waste an entire
Champagne's
bottle of champagne.
expensive, I'm sure.
Fuck.
Fuck this stupid guy.
While
Guy's
cleaning up the
douche.
shards of broken glass, he noticed a group of red, green, and white lights in the distance. He thought the lights belonged to an airliner in distress, but soon he noted that the object was moving too slowly to be a jet. He
Hovering?
quickly... No. Oh, well, maybe.
Hmm.
UFOs, UAPs, they tend to do that.
Yeah.
They tend
This is
to
interesting.
move in ways that are not... They don't follow the laws of physics, per se.
Yeah.
They'll just jet up or jet down.
Side to side.
Just hang out in air.
Yeah.
You're just kind of chilling.
Yeah. Makes me think of a different story. I don't know if it was a. It doesn't matter right now. But go on.
He quickly shouted to his wife to bring their movie camera. That sounds like 1982.
It does.
Just as she stepped outside, the object then, visible as a V-shaped structure, passed at an altitude of roughly 500 feet over the house. As the stunned husband and wife watched, the object emitted an intense white light, illuminating the ground around them before slowly floating off in the direction of a nearby interstate. This gives
Well,
me
shit.
Star Trek vibes.
It does.
Beam
sound
me
like
up,
that.
Scotty.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Moments after the former policeman and his wife witnessed the UFO, 55-year-old warehouse foreman Edwin Hansen had a startling encounter with the same craft. While driving home, Hansen noticed lights hovering over the highway just ahead of his car. As Hansen drew closer, the object seemed to take notice and projected an intense beam of white light onto the road before turning away. Very, very intriguing.
That's interesting, yeah.
Now, I wonder how much pop culture played a role in this. I wonder how much unconscious bias played a
Yeah.
role in all of this. There's later I'll bring up, some possible rebuttals and explanations, like reasonable explanations
Do you
for what
think the
these
show
people saw.
Ancient Aliens talked about this?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
There's no way they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if they talked about...
I used to watch it, but then I would think I would know about this story, but I don't.
There's no amount of drugs in the world that could make me enjoy that show. You know what? I might divide the
Really?
audience a little bit here. I did not enjoy Ancient Aliens, personally.
Some of it
I
was
thought
fascinating,
I
but then I
thought it
got
kinda
distracted.
ruined
But
the History Channel, because it used to be learning about different shit throughout history, but
the
then
History Channel used
slowly
to
it
be
became all
like
about
Animal
Ancient
Channel
Aliens.
almost.
Mhm.
The History Channel wasn't that? I don't know. Almost similar to Animal Channel. No.
Animal Planet?
Animal Planet, yes.
Animal Planet was the shit that took precedent to me. I was like way more interested in Animal Planet than
I don't know.
History
Ancient
Channel.
Aliens is pretty interesting. But God.
Throughout the Hudson Valley sightings of the 1980s and 90s, the most common type of UFO was described as being distinctly angular and shaped like a wedge or a boomerang. As recounted by History.com, eyewitness Kevin Soravilla, a retired Yorktown police lieutenant, stated that the object he saw appeared to measure 100 yards from wingtip to wingtip and lumbered slowly and silently before performing a sudden 45-degree turn and speeding off. The inexplicable event prompted Soravilla. Goddamn, what a weird name. To contact nearby Stewart Air Force Police Base to determine if he had seen one of its C-5 transport planes. Air Force officials told Soravilla that no C-5s had been in that area. Along with the immense size and unique shape of the UFOs, many observers have noted that the craft were mechanical in nature despite their gravity-defying abilities. On February 26th of 1983, Monique O'Driscoll, a 38-year-old mental health worker from Lake Carmel, New York, tracked a boomerang-shaped craft with a pulsing red, blue, and amber light on a rural back road. So the colors aren't quite consistent.
It sounds like some people, if they saw it as green, maybe they're colorblind. While others saw.
Or maybe it
different.
appears different in different times of day.
True.
You know, if it's night, it might appear more green.
That's
Or
interesting.
maybe, that unique shade of blue and green that, sometimes you see more blue, sometimes you see more green. Who knows? I mean, we're talking about UFOs here.
Yeah.
Maybe
Are
they
they
just
all
got all the
silver?
colors.
Are they all silver? The actual
The actual
spaceship.
craft. None of them
Yeah.
have described the color of the craft, but because
That's interesting.
my impression is some type of a silver
Of
color.
course, yeah.
But none of these accounts yet have described the color of the craft, just that it's mechanical in
Just
nature.
the lights, yeah, and that.
She noted that as the objects passed over, she noted that the underside reminded her of the crisscrossed steel girders of bridges. So, yeah, steel colored.
That's okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
With tubular things here and there. In Silent Invasion, Ellen Crystal describes the many wedge-shaped craft she saw as black with silver elements. Well, we got our answer.
Nice.
She also claimed that she could clearly make out seams along the UFO's surface, marking areas where the riveted metallic plates of the craft's hull appeared to be joined.
Okay.
The invasion of March 24th, 1983. This is quite a flap. There are so many more cases than I
Never heard of that term.
Oh no, that's what a lot of ufologists refer to, like a cluster of UFO sightings within a span of time. They call it a flap.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're learning stuff.
Nice.
UFOs, woo! As documented in Night Siege on the evening of March 24th, 1983, the Hudson Valley was plunged into what seemed to be a full-scale UFO invasion. The first reported sighting of the night came from Hunt Middleton. He had just stepped off of a commuter bus and was walking to his Bedford, New York home when he spied unusual colored lights through the trees. It was just hovering there in the sky, he said. I continued to watch for 5 minutes, and all this time, the object did not move. Later, computer consultant Steve Whittles of Carmel, New York. That's right, it's Carmel, not caramel.
Oh,
Fuckers.
okay. I say it wrong sometimes.
I will be a grammar Nazi on that one.
I don't even know. I say
Carmel. You go back and forth.
Yeah, I do.
But it's Carmel. There's no second A in Carmel.
I feel bad for this person. That's their last name. Carmel. I would hate to have that last name. I would change it immediately. It's like every time you go to a coffee shop, they're like, let me guess. You want a caramel macchiato, don't you? Like, shut up!
Getting that caramel. Give me my caramel macchiato. Just a quarter mile from Whittle's sighting, Dr. Lawrence Greenman, his wife, Joan, and their 3 daughters observed the UFO through binoculars as it stopped in midair and hovered over the trees. Soon the police switchboard in Yorktown began to light up as panicked citizens reported seeing a huge chevron-shaped object.
Chevron?
Chevron.
Is that
as
a car?
it flew, I think so.
Oh.
As it flew north along the Taconic Parkway. Meanwhile, 15 miles north of the sightings along the Taconic Parkway in Westchester County, the citizens of Putnam County communities of Kent, Carmel, Lake Carmel, and Brewster were witnessing a similar, albeit smaller, boomerang-shaped craft. The final reported sighting of the night came from Robert Golden of Danbury, Connecticut. Kind of far, but not quite that far.
Okay.
Not that deep into Connecticut.
Yeah.
Who watched a slow-moving wedge of red, white, and green lights pass over the pines near his home.
Interesting.
Right?
Sometimes I wonder when there's odd sounds outside that I know it's a car. I wonder if it's aliens. I'm like, that is a weird sound. You ever experience that?
You know, the thing is, I think I want it too bad. Like, too much.
I want to see it just as badly as I want to see, I don't know, a random apparition right here standing behind us. We're like, oh, hello!
And that's why it'll never happen to us. We want it too much.
No, it's up to you. I don't know if you want to admit it, but you've told me.
I know, I've seen an apparition.
Last time I saw an actual apparition, it was a long time ago. It was a few years ago.
But why no UFOs? Why
It's
I
a
no see
shadow
UFOs?
person. I want to see UFOs.
I want to see it all.
I want to see it. We should just hang out outside for a while and see what happens. Waste our time, you know.
At the very least, just have a nice night out and sky watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds peaceful.
It does.
So now we have Hudson Valley hoaxers.
Hoaxers?
Hoax.
What was a hoaxer? Like hoax?
Like fake.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
I forgot that word.
The UFO flap of March 24th, 1983 was the talk of the Hudson Valley for days after the event. A newspaper article published 2 days later only served to increase the region's mania for the weirdness that seemed to continue in the skies. As detailed in Night Siege, local residents hoping to get a glimpse of the craft scanned the skies nightly. Calls poured in to a newly established UFO hotline at all hours of the day and night. The UFO hotline
Interesting.
was essentially just some guy named Bob chilling in his basement.
Pretty much. He was trying to be the new version of Ancient Aliens guy.
I don't know. I think this guy kind of just got the shitty end of the stick. I
So-
get the vibe though, like, no, he didn't want any part in this. I could be wrong. But in any case, along with genuine, unexplained aerial phenomenon, many people mistook the planets Venus and Jupiter for UFOs.
What?
Others reported
What?
conventional aircraft in their excitement.
How do they mix that up? Are they
Pure
looking through one of
ignorance.
those telescopes, the really good ones, and there's like, oh, alien ship. It's just a fucking Jupiter.
You caught a glimpse of Jupiter, dude.
What?
You should be excited
Are
about
they on
that.
drugs?
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Or they're just hyped up. They're excited. They want to be a part of something.
They badly want to see it, so now they're seeing it as that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a planet. Huh.
Now we have Sergeant Kenneth Spiro of the New York State Police, who claimed that one of his officers had exposed the sightings as a hoax when he tracked the UFO to Stormville Airport in Dutchess County. It was a group of light planes. They fly in formation, Spiro told New York Times. The planes are rigged with bright lights that can turn from one color to another. The trooper spoke to a couple of the pilots, and they're getting a big kick out of it. So they're not saying anything because they just think it's funny that people think they're UFOs.
That's right. It was a story back in, I think, the 70s. Pilots actually caught something that they couldn't explain.
No,
Do you
this
remember
is
that video?
this is quite the opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is them being like, "Oh, we're
Yeah,
the
I know, it's a
UFOs,
hoax,
and we
yeah.
just think it's funny.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let you guys believe that we're UFOs
Yep.
because it's funny." But yeah, there are a lot of military officers that are
That
military.
stepped forward and said, yeah, no, I saw something really strange.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
they're trying to streamline the process and make it a little bit less destigmatizing because there have been many who have lost their job over just telling their story,
Yeah.
telling people what they saw. They
Because
saw
Area
something they couldn't
51,
explain.
they have everything. They have all the hidden secrets.
Yeah, and according to Canada, and
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do a whole thing on this, but according to Canadian Prime Minister, I don't know if it's the current or the former, there are 4 distinct species of alien
Oh, nice.
that all government officials in the UN are connected with.
Oh, wow.
I might be getting a few details wrong here, but I know for a fact it's 4 distinct
I didn't know that.
species of aliens.
Fast.
So there's that.
I want images. I want proof. I want to see it all.
I just want to talk to the tall ones
Yeah, the tall ones. There's tall
from
ones.
Invader Zim.
Oh, right. I remember now. Yeah.
I want to talk to those guys. They seem like fun.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. They're taking over planets.
They
I
are.
fuck with them.
Yep.
Not really, but kind of.
You like Zim? And
I
Gur.
like Zim.
My Gur.
And Gur. You need
Waffles!
to ramp up the spazness in
Oh,
order
okay.
to be my Gur.
I like waffles! He likes everything, though. She, he.
They.
They?
They're a robot.
Oh, they are robots. See,
Everybody says he.
I am that. I am Gur.
There's waffle in it.
I have pizza.
Still, those who had seen both the March 24th UFO and the planes could easily tell the difference. I've seen these jerks 5 or 6 times, witness William Pollard said of the trickster pilots. So they were doing it on purpose. They were just fucking with people.
Oh, wow.
to
Getting
be
paid
a
to
pilot.
fuck with people.
Oh, to be a pilot.
Oh, that's mean.
They were nothing like what I saw the first time. Nothing like it at all. The first thing I saw was rigid. Absolutely rigid. Communion, the abduction of Whitley Strieber. Whitley Strieber certainly wasn't hungry for fame or attention before the events that befell him. Oh, Whitley, not Whitney. Whitley Strieber. Poor dude. He was not hungry for fame or attention before the events that befell him on December 26th, 1985,
Okay.
the day after Christmas. This poor
Oh,
dude
okay.
loses his damn,
That sucks.
or gets abducted. Gets
Wait, he
abducted.
claimed to be abducted?
Mhm.
Oh, I missed that part.
A best-selling author of 2 novels, The Wolfen and The Hunger, have been adapted for film. In the winter of 1985, Strieber, his wife, and his young son had enjoyed an idyllic Christmas at their secluded cabin in Pine Bush, New York. It was near Pine Bush, New York. The
Mm-hmm.
snow had begun on Christmas Eve and continued to fall for the next 2 days, and they spent the day cross-country skiing and eating Christmas dinner leftovers. By 11 o'clock that night, the Striebers were sound asleep. However, Whitley Strieber's post-holiday slumber was shattered when he found himself awakened by what was described as whooshing and swirling noises emanating from the downstairs living room. Attempting to return to sleep, Strieber noticed a figure with 2 dark holes for eyes opening his bedroom door.
What?
Soon after, he was whisked through the woods near his cabin in a state of paralysis. As documented in Communion, Strieber was then transported to an unfamiliar room where non-human entities performed what he perceived to be invasive medical experiments on his body.
When I hear things like this, I can't help but wonder. I want to know more about the human that they chose. Because there has to be a reason why they chose that specific person, right? Is there something that person's hiding? Who are they? Are they super intelligent? Do they have something that fascinated these aliens? That they were like, you know what? You're the species of humans we're going to just dig into and bend you over.
We chose this human in particular because we
We
are
like their butthole. We
particularly
were
attracted
watching
to
them
them.
pooping, so.
We have
Sorry.
eyes in their bathroom, and we
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed what we saw,
They
so
know
we
how
picked
to
this
be
one up.
invisible.
We wanted to pluck up this old man just
Yeah.
because. No. What I really think of is there's one of two things. Either they're trying to understand the human species the same way that humans kind of have that natural curiosity, like scientific curiosity of other species. We just treat them
Yeah.
like lab experiments. The same way we treat evil mice in a
Okay.
lab. The same way we experiment on them, do all these things. I think the way that aliens. This is one of two perspectives on this.
Yeah.
It's either that they look at us as just something they want to naturally understand from a scientific standpoint,
Mhm.
and so they just pluck people at random. No
I feel like a
particular
lot of
reason
these
why.
stories seem to be men, though.
Not always true. Not always true.
Really?
There's actually a very famous story of a woman who got abducted. Well, I don't remember her name, but it's across the
Oh,
board. All
okay.
races, all nationalities, all genders. It's
Oh.
they're not
Then
particularly
I didn't
picky.
study enough into alien sightings.
And I also feel like that kind of supports the idea, though,
Mhm.
too, is the the fact that it's not particular people, it's very common people. They never go for high profile people,
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
usually.
confused by. Unless
Not
they do,
usually.
and we don't know.
Or they pick them as while they're a child and they grow up to be,
Yeah.
that we've seen that happen.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
But my second perspective on it, if it's not actually happening, is that it's a psychological thing where I don't know, for one reason or another, they dream up these events that seem so hyper realistic to them because of traumas they haven't dealt with or whatever's going on in their head.
Yeah.
And
It's not really happening. No aliens came down.
exactly,
I've had some wild dreams, so.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes when you dream, it's so vivid.
Oh, yeah. All the
The
time for me.
the
I could lose
brain.
my teeth in my dream, and I could feel it when I wake up. I'm like, I thought I just lost a tooth, and I didn't.
Yep, I've definitely had
fucking
those
wild.
dreams where I'm like grinding my teeth. I'm sure that what I'm doing is grinding my teeth in my sleep.
Or
But
if you get
while
shot
I'm
in a
dreaming,
dream, you feel like you've
oh, you
been
feel all
shot.
that pain.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've had that happen
Oh,
before.
yeah. Wake up and you're not shot. It's great. It's great.
For me, I can actually I've had dreams long time ago, like when I was a teenager, where I would be grinding my teeth and I would feel the teeth falling out and I'd be spitting them out into my hand.
Oh, yeah. I've had that dream.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Wake up and it's like, oh, my teeth.
I had a lot of shit I wanted to say that I couldn't. That's what that dream means.
Yeah. According to, Google searches. What does
According
your
to
dream
Dream
mean?
Moods.
Yeah.
Dreammoods.com. I used to religiously use that one to try to understand my weird ass
Same.
dreams.
Yeah.
However, moving on. Among the beings that Strieber allegedly encountered were small, vaguely robotic creatures, an army of small, stocky aliens with bluish skin and slender entities with black slanted eyes.
Cool.
In the decades since his apparent abduction, Strieber has written a number of books in which he attempts to make sense of his experience. He remains a popular figure in the paranormal and ufology, or ufology, however you want to pronounce it, communities.
Mm.
Thoughts on that one?
Fascinating.
I'd love to get more details. I would also like to do more of a deep dive on a more psychological perspective
Definitely, yeah.
on UFO phenomenon in general.
Same,
I'd
yeah.
like to really understand not only the people who vehemently deny it,
Yeah.
but also I'd really like to understand the other side where they are so adamant and something happens to them and it breaks them
Yeah.
and it becomes their whole life.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't do enough research on aliens because I'm kind of in that, you know, it's possible. There's no way that we're the only ones here.
Oh, of course.
But then also, I'm more fascinated by paranormal, ghosts, spirits, you know.
I have a natural curiosity
Energy.
for all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Exactly.
On the periphery of the Hudson Valley's rampant UFO activity are several strange and possibly related phenomena that don't easily fit into the traditional paranormal or cryptozoological categories. Ralph C. Schubert allegedly came within 10 feet of a mysterious translucent humanoid entity behind his parents' home in
That sounds familiar.
Walker Valley, New York.
That sounds like something you saw.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
Oh, shit.
Hey, maybe I actually did see a UFO. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But I also think I was a big fan of the movie The Invisible Man.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I was a big fan of that movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
We should watch it sometime. It's
Okay.
jump scares, yeah, but you know, all in all, I like the
50s?
plot.
From the 50s?
The
Or is
movie?
this the newer one? I feel like we talked about this recently.
I
and
like the
thought
more
you were
recent
talking
one.
about- Oh, okay. See, I
the one
only
from
know...
the 50s is just kind of goofy.
Yeah,
And
I only know
it's
that
fun.
one. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but you know, it's goofy.
Yeah. Yep.
I like psychological thrillers.
Same.
Yeah.
I hate Hereditary, though. But I'll rewatch it.
There
I'll
are
rewatch
some
it for you so you can see it.
There are some psychological thrillers
I
that
want to
just
see your
break
experience.
you,
Yeah.
and
That one broke me a little bit. Because
yeah,
now I can't stand the sound. Like, I can't.
Oh,
I fucking hate it. And then, oh no.
Anybody listening who has seen this movie
So
can
sorry.
relate
I'm doing
to what you're
ASMR to that over
describing.
here. Yeah, you do it better. Yeah.
I
Ugh.
apologize. I didn't mean to trigger anybody.
We're so sorry. Trigger warning.
we really got to start every podcast with a trigger warning up top.
We probably should have with
crude.
the other fucking one.
Oh yeah,
All those sick fucks.
Oh no, trigger warning was definitely right up top in the beginning of that one.
Got it. I forgot.
Episode 2. Woo.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, definitely gonna start doing trigger warnings because we not only are we crude, vulgar, but also like the shit we talk about sometimes is pretty.
Some
of it's pretty intense.
Much, yeah.
Oh yeah, we went with something pretty intense.
Some arm and then all this stuff.
Yeah, now we're having fun. We're talking about UFOs.
I didn't want to think of the one we did. The first one.
We're gonna put that back where we left it.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Where was I?
Aliens. Oh, transparent.
Yes,
humanoid.
the transparent humanoid entity.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was a stranger on the property playing hide and seek. Oh, how cute! What was he, a kid?
So random. I thought he said it was tall. Why would there be a tall humanoid person just playing hide and seek? Like, hello, peekaboo.
He was within 10 feet of it, but he doesn't describe the height, at least not yet.
Oh.
It would stand against a tree, like hiding behind it, and then it would walk to another tree. I got the sense that it was looking at me. According to Weird New York, Pine Bush resident Jim Smith is no stranger to bizarre entities. I've seen so many of the beings, I know how they move, Smith said. They're different sizes, different shapes, but when you see them, you know they're not of this earth. Among the beings that he has seen are 6'6" black clad figure that moved horizontally through space, and a headless cat with a piece of cardboard where the head should be.
What? Plankton? Oh, not Plankton, sorry. Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy? Why was Plank in a dead cat? That's not cool. What the fuck was Plank doing in a dead
A
cat?
piece of it's cardboard, not plank, but cardboard.
Oh,
on
sorry,
top
sorry.
of where the head should be.
What the fuck?
I was picturing it the other way around as I was reading it, where I was like, piece of cardboard and then just a head on top of it, like on a
Yeah.
platter. No, it's the other way around. The whole body of a cat.
That's
and just
weird.
yeah.
What the fuck? The one that
That's an
piqued
interesting
my
one.
interest though is you said a dark figure.
Yep,
That
black
moved side to
clad
side.
figure.
Remember the story I told you that outside my old apartment, there was a tall figure. It was the first time I've ever seen an apparition that I'm aware of. Maybe when I was a kid, I saw some shit too. Who knows? But this one was very tall.
Mhm.
I would say 6 feet. It looked like they were 6 feet tall.
But
and they
to
were
be fair, it was far away, right?
No, it was the distance from where we're sitting, a little bit further back where Manny is. We have a
So
mannequin.
somewhere in the 10 to 15 feet range.
Oh
right?
yeah, it was right next to. So you saw my old apartment. You saw outside of it. That tree. I'm pretty sure there was still a tree there. It was standing next to that tree, and it moved to the side, and then while it seemed like it was watching me and the other person, was walking backwards, and then disappeared. I went to go chase this fucking thing. It was during the day. It wasn't dark out. It wasn't
Walking
nighttime.
backwards?
Walking backwards.
What
Slowly.
gave you the impression it was
did to the
walking
side.
backwards?
Because I could see a shape of a I believe the legs were like forward. I could see the
Okay,
shape.
so they were doing the thing where you're okay.
Yeah, when you're backing away slowly, like I'm watching you, and then like walking slowly backwards, and then it just turned to the side, like it did a side thing and disappeared. I rushed after this fucking thing. I didn't care. I was ready to fight. I thought it was a human being just fucking with us. I thought we had a stalker because it was a tall. But it looked like a shadow person. It didn't look like a real being. To me, I was just like, there's no fucking way. Because I used to be...
How would you describe,
I used to not believe in this shit.
was the shape, like, solid, like it was, like, made of actual mass, or would you say it was kind of like...
It was like Manny, how we painted Manny, but see-through a little bit. It was like a shadow person.
Okay.
A shadow figure.
Okay. I
Because
could see that.
see through that it was standing by the tree. For some reason, it looked like it had a cane. It was weird. It had something in its hand.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was backing away slowly, and then it did a side thing and disappeared, and that's when I started chasing after this thing, because I was just ready to go. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. What is this? Because in my mind, I'm like, either I'm finally experiencing paranormal, or some stalkers after us, and I'm going to protect, I'm gonna do something about this. And it's just gone. I didn't...
Well, I mean, to add more context to what I was saying before about what I saw in our apartment,
Yeah.
I would say about the same height as Manny.
Mhm.
Manny, by the way, for the listeners, Manny is the name of our mannequin that's chilling in our bedroom. We have a 6.5 foot tall mannequin
I would say it's
that we painted black.
6'2".
It's more than that. I'm
Oh, really?
6 foot. So,
Oh, good
yeah.
point. So I think it's 6'3".
Maybe more in the 6'5", 6'6" range. But regardless, about his height, standing next to our bed while we're both laying down, and I remember seeing it, studying it for, I'd say about 10, 15 seconds, but I had like a curiosity about it, but I didn't feel unsafe.
Yeah.
And then I just slowly fell asleep.
Yeah.
What I saw was definitely less black, more just, I could see straight through it, but I saw a clear shape, like an outline of a person.
Mm-hmm.
And it just...
Sounds like a shadow figure, like what I saw.
It's like that, just less shadowy, just more like in The Invisible Man, where you could just see straight through it, but the outline of the figure you could kind of make out.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't help but think not aliens. I think it's paranormal. I think it's a spirit.
What I find interesting about that experience for me is just the simple fact that I felt safe. Because I questioned why I felt safe for a moment.
Some people talk about guardians, like you could have some type of guardian.
That
Not angel bullshit, but like guardian, like something that wants to watch over or protect you before you decided, your
I will
soul
admit
self.
that sounds fucking badass, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't help me get
I think it's protecting us from old man Jim that's here. The old man you saw, the apparition.
I mean, I'm glad that this guardian is around and everything, but could you deposit some money in my bank, please?
That'd be great.
That'd be the best way to be my guardian, to be honest.
Give us some money. Make money fall from the sky for us.
Fuck this economy. Moving on. The sightings continue, as documented by authors of Weird New York. I, I couldn't have said it better myself. Weird New York.
Yeah.
Um, UFO sightings dropped off dramatically in the Hudson Valley with the arrival of the new millennium. Although Pine Bush, New York, remained a UFO hotspot, they do consider it a hotspot.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was saying medium high heat. Um, in the 2000s, strange flying aircraft no longer appeared with the frequency and regularity of the area's 80s and 90s heyday. However, there is evidence that the visitors may be returning. In March 2021, the Hudson Valley Post reported that there had been over 150 UFO sightings in upstate New York during 2020. Based on information compiled by the National UFO Reporting Center, the astonishing figure nearly doubled the number of sightings reported in 2019, with many occurring in the Hudson Valley. Yet, the dramatic uptick in UFO sightings is likely not indicative of an impending alien invasion. According to. I mean, they haven't done it yet. They haven't done it yet.
Not yet. They're still studying us.
According to the April 2021 New York Times article, the COVID-19 lockdown saw many urbanites.
Urbanites?
Urbanites.
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 Urbanites. What is an urbanite?
That feels like racially motivated.
It does. I don't like it.
Something about that feels racially motivated, and I
I'm
don't
very
fuck with that
confused.
energy.
Yeah. I'm very confused.
I feel dirty having said it out loud.
Yeah.
Fleeing to the countryside.
What?
Basically, inner city people moving to the countryside, and
I
now
see.
seeing UFOs.
Interesting.
I guess, what I will say, that sounds more psychological than I would say,
Sounds about right.
extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
And I only say that because, if you spent your whole life in the city and you're used to city noise and stuff like that, and then suddenly you're in this quiet,
or not here, but there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
Words.
suddenly in this quiet rural area, you're gonna start like filling in the blank.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna start filling
brain's
in that white noise.
Oh yeah.
I feel like, but I could be wrong. victimmatrixpodcast@gmail.com. Please correct me, as I'm here to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I am a student of all these
We're
things.
all students. That's what this earth is. We're only here to learn.
Well, shit, I'm not learning fast enough.
Learn and grow with whatever that may be.
Faced with less light pollution and more time to look up transplanted city dwellers. Oh, God.
Transplanted.
Whoever wrote this article was really having fun with the language here.
It
Transplanted
sounds like
city
they're a
dwellers.
plant science major.
No, like surgical.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Because your emphasis on planted.
Focus on plant part. Yeah.
We're suddenly aware that they may not be alone in the universe. Oh shit, they just found out.
Oh wow. Good for them.
Pine Bush cashes in. In the decades since the famous Hudson Valley sightings, the hamlet of Pine Bush, New York, has wholeheartedly embraced its reputation as the East Coast's UFO capital. As reported by Albany's Times-Union, the community has hosted an annual festival celebrating the area's long history as a hub for extraterrestrial activity since 2008. The Pine Bush UFO Fair, which has begun as a small gathering of ufologists, has swelled into an annual event featuring costumes and a parade which draws thousands, mostly from Earth, every year.
Yeah.
Fuck the person who wrote this article.
They did a thing.
With the success of the annual UFO Fair, Pine Bush community leaders have decided their town needed a more permanent monument to admittedly weird heritage. In June of 2021, the Pine Bush UFO and Paranormal Museum opened. Let's go to the Pine Bush Museum.
All right.
I would love to check this shit out. It says documents strange happenings ranging from the infamous UFO sightings of the 80s and 90s to the region's long history of ghosts and cryptids.
I want to see this.
Yeah. I'm very curious. This article doesn't go too much into the This article doesn't go too much into the Hudson. Jesus Christ, words are hard. Hudson Valley's gargoyle. I'm very curious about that. I want to talk more about that.
They stole from Mothman. It's really Mothman.
It's Mothman? Come on.
Mothman. It should no. They're trying to copy Mothman. I will die on that hill.
Interesting. There's
Um,
nothing on this.
Because it's bullshit. They stole from Mothman, like I said. I will die on that hill. They were trying to be cool, and they're like, oh, we want our own personal Mothman. Let's make up a gargoyle. Whatever how you want to say it. Whatever how it's pronounced.
Descriptions of the creature varied, but it was said to have glowing red eyes or no eyes at all.
Sounds like Mothman.
Wings span 10 feet or more.
Yep, sounds like
and
Mothman.
large claws.
Yep, Mothman.
No one describes his skin texture or anything else,
Yeah.
just...
There's a little bug
Yeah.
that keeps landing on you. Why do we have a fruit fly in here?
I don't know.
Look at it. It just
Fuck out of here.
kill it. Kill a fire. Alright, I'll get the hairspray. You get the match.
We need a lighter for
Oh,
that.
right, it's a lighter, yeah.
Because you're going to
It's
burn through
flicker.
the match really quickly if you do that.
True.
There were also crop circles.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I don't have any further context on the crop circles.
Yeah, the gargoyle sounds like they're describing Mothman.
In a way, yeah, it does. But this is way before Mothman.
You sure?
So maybe now people would look at it, with a more modern lens and be like, oh, Mothman was in upstate New York at one point.
Mm.
But I
I'm
digress.
kidding. Here you go.
But I digress. That is the Hudson Valley sightings. And so, we got crop circles, we got UFOs, we got
Yeah.
a gargoyle, apparently, or Mothman,
Oh,
maybe.
Mothman, it's Mothman. They're so full of shit trying to steal Mothman.
They're not stealing it, they're borrowing it.
They're borrowing it and pretending like it's their own. It's bullshit. Bastards.
If there are any other sightings or possible, encounters that people may want us to talk about, send it to the Victim Matrix or just Victim Matrix podcast at gmail.com.
What we experienced at the prison was fucking wild.
Oh yeah, the prison.
I got
that's,
punched in the chest while recording you doing your music video.
Yeah. It was Salem,
And I
New
had
York.
a bruise right on the backside.
It's
So
the Salem, New York courthouse.
yes.
I definitely want to go back there and do some more filming for
Yep.
sure. That was quite an
And
experience.
that feeling that you felt in the one room that you explained.
Yeah.
And then when I was saying, what did I say before a thick piece of paint fell in between us before we ran out?
I don't remember exactly what you said. I do remember you saying you felt uneasy or something.
Oh yeah, I
along
was
those
saying
lines.
I felt like my heart was like tightening, like something
Yeah.
was trying to hurt me. And then later the next morning, bruise right in the same area where I was like, yeah, it's fucking wild.
So more shit that happens in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back there.
Me too.
Again.
I'm thinking down the line, I definitely want to do a really long podcast about Stardust Ranch.
I'm curious
told
about
you
that
about
'cause
that
I
one.
forgot about.
That story's wild. He's like fucking.
Is it like skinwalkers and shit?
So there's Skinwalker Ranch and Stardust
Night
Ranch.
crawlers?
They're both in the Southwest.
Mhm.
They both actually I don't know for sure if Skinwalker
Ooh.
Ranch is in the Southwest or not.
Talking about the
but-
doll too, isn't that in the Southwest or is that Florida? The doll.
Which doll?
The little monkey-looking one. I forgot. It looked like a little monkey doll. It did, and it was wearing a sailor suit. What was its name?
It wasn't a monkey doll, but it was in a sailor suit, and you're talking
Yes.
about Robert the doll.
Robert the doll. Yes.
I would love to do.
I want to go there and tap on the glass and be like, "Do something. Fucking prove it. You're paranormal."
Well, he only haunts people that.
That make fun of him. Be like, "Look at you in your little sailor outfit." So
Yeah, if you make fun of his sailor outfit, it is said that you will be.
Watch, I have a nightmare tonight because I'm talking shit about Robert the doll, and he's just like twitching.
I've talked a fair amount of shit about Robert the doll, but I haven't done any of it to his face.
That might be where all the bad luck is coming from.
Somehow I doubt.
I'm kidding.
Somehow I
Yeah.
doubt that, and B, I thought you had to be in his presence.
Oh,
in
no,
order for that to
no.
happen.
Even left podcast on the left. I mean,
Left
I
podcast on the
always
left.
yeah, I always switch it up. One of the guys saying shit about him. Sorry, I mean to
Yeah.
hit your knee.
I'm just
and
like
he was
that
just
guy.
like,
I would
"Sorry,
fuck with him.
Robert." No, but every time.
The what was the Unsolved YouTube channel?
Oh, those two assholes.
Yeah, I want to
I'm
see.
big fan of them until they tried getting more money out of their fans.
Yeah,
Ryan and Shane. Ryan and Shane, I like you guys, but why would you do that to us poor people? Why? I was a big fan, man. It just sucks.
It kind of puts a sour
Imagine like they
taste.
would hear this podcast one day, but
I mean, that'd be cool if they did.
it would
If
be
you're
cool.
listening,
I respect them.
yeah.
The hustle. But
If
still,
they're listening, we made it.
I'm a little butthurt by it.
Yeah. But I digress. I definitely want to do some content around both those subjects
Mm,
in general. But of course, we're open to suggestions and shit like that.
of course.
Um, I'm blanking on any other shit to.
I thought we had the other one that you wanted to tell me about, which was called the hell was it? Well, that's a long story, but something the Watcher. No, what was it called? The Night Walker. What the hell is the Night Walker? You had a notes over there.
He was it's on the list.
Yeah.
Nightwalker is definitely, or I can't remember what his actual name was, but he's a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah,
Then you also have Satanic Panic. I forgot about that
definitely
one.
want to do a Satanic Panic episode. I
Yeah.
actually would like to do some episodes on occultism in general, just like
Of
general
course.
topics. Talk
Same.
about Satanism. If we did a episode on Satanism, we would definitely do the whole explainer.
Of
Of like
course.
Satanic Panic kind of comes with the topic.
Mm.
Definitely want to do something on that. Definitely want to do some episodes on Luciferianism. Got to pick up some more Michael Ford books before we do
Oh,
something like that.
definitely.
I want to make sure we're getting our shit right. And having like a good like wealth of knowledge to talk about, because I don't see anybody else really kind of
Talking
talking
much.
about it in that
Yeah.
sense. Just the only thing you really hear about Luciferianism is the Hollywood Illuminati type of Luciferianism,
Oh, I thought
and
they claimed to be Satanists, not Luciferians.
it all comes from that side of conspiracy culture. That's all completely just they don't want to know what it really is. They want to
They
know
just want
what
to be
they.
seen as cool and trendy. Scary. I don't know.
I think it's more
Goddamn
of
famous people.
I'm afraid of this, and so I'm going to fearmonger so that like how that misery loves company idea.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Got it.
but in any
Grace.
case, definitely want to do some content on that. Maybe we don't have a like specific niche that we're picking here. Definitely going to be doing a lot on
Well, along,
conspiracies, murders, stuff
yeah.
like that.
Along the line of talking about aliens and a little bit of cryptids. How do you say it? Cryptids?
Yep.
I mean, we could. I don't know if you're wrapping it up or whatnot, but you could quickly give me your summary of your thoughts and the people that will be listening on skinwalkers. Like, what is your intake on your thoughts on that? Like, what is a skinwalker to you? Like, what you've studied?
A skinwalker to me, the only plausible explanation for a skinwalker would not be somebody who could just instantly change shape,
Not a
like
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter. I would say a shapeshifter would be someone that's more of a thought form, rather than a
Yeah.
physical entity, because in order to be able to instantly change bodies like that, I would think that that would be more thought form, more psychological, rather than like physical, actually like cryptid.
Yeah.
Whereas skinwalkers, I think to the best of my knowledge, the lore is that it completely
They
sheds
mimic
its
people
skin.
that you know.
They mimic people, yeah,
They could
and
do
they
the voice
completely
and all that.
shed their old skin,
Mhm.
and they just leave it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding piles of skin just chilling out in the fucking woods one day, that would be
And
freaky
it's
as
like, the
fuck.
fuck is this?
Um, but that it doesn't seem all that unplausible, just considering what we know about the animal kingdom.
Mhm.
It wouldn't surprise me for there to be, because like with all different types of camouflage, like chameleons and stuff like that, to blend into their
Mm.
environment, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a primate who developed this type of a genetic mutation. It
Mm.
would be wild and very fascinating, to say the least. But I think that that's plausible, but not in this dimension.
Yeah.
Not in this
Yep.
dimension, and also not in this timeline. I really feel like if something like that were to really happen, it would happen thousands of years from now,
Of course.
when we have more bipedal animals
Mm.
walking the earth.
Of course. Yeah.
Um,
What are your thoughts on? Remember that video that I shown you with the figures, the long legs and the little head walking?
yeah, that looked like absolute bullshit.
I.
That was my thought on that.
It makes me cringe
It's
out of my
cringy.
own skin. No,
Yeah,
cringe in
it's
a
like
way that's
freaky.
like it makes my skin want to just fly off
Well,
of
then I
me.
would say that's not cringe. I would say that
What would you
that's,
call it? It gives you the heebie-jeebies.
yes, yes.
I just don't like how they look.
It's that itchy
Oh,
feeling you get, and that's not cringe. Cringe is more.
okay,
What you're
good point.
describing is
Yeah.
more. Ugh.
Like, oh, if I saw that, I'd run the other way.
I don't think I'd be scared of it personally because
Really?
they were what, like 2 feet tall.
I have no idea.
They look short. They look
Oh, did
short.
they?
I feel like if I can punt it, I'm not gonna be that scared of it.
They're gnomes. They're actually gnomes with long legs.
See, I have tall person privilege, so
I
I do
don't.
kind of view things
I
that small that
don't.
way.
I don't.
Not you,
I'm so
you know, like
tiny.
not your height. I mean
Yeah,
much
no.
smaller.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be scared of something like that per se.
Yeah.
If it had more intimidating features, maybe it just looks
To me, that's
freaky.
intimidating.
Freaky's not intimidating to me. Freaky to
Um,
me is curious.
okay.
That to me is like it's kind of like
You're
the same
telling me if
energy as
we're just
freak show
hanging
stuff.
out in our bedroom and that little like figure just walks along on the floor, you're not gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
There's a big difference between what you're describing and what I'm describing.
Yeah.
Because what I'm describing is out in the wild, you know.
Oh, okay. But if it's
But
in your
if it's in my
home,
home, I'm gonna
shit your
fucking kill
pants.
it.
Oh, you're gonna try killing
I'm
it?
gonna fucking kill it.
I shit my pants and run out of the apartment.
That's when I
Ah!
grab. That's when I grab my machete.
Oh, that
And
works.
I.
But what if it can't be killed and it's just like ha 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 and it jumps into your soul?
It sounds to me like you're describing a leprechaun and not an actual like.
It's a leprechaun. Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea of spooky
Don't
leprechauns.
even
Like,
get me started on the stupid horror movies, The Leprechaun. It's fucking
yeah,
horrible.
that's you need a certain type of sense of humor for those
Yeah.
movies.
Worse
Especially
than the
the
Child's
later
Play
ones.
films, Chucky.
Y-
A lot
Are you
worse.
kidding me?
A
Like to me,
lot.
Chucky, like Child's Play is a comedy to
It
me.
is a comedy, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
Same with the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a comedy.
True. Well, yeah, good
I have a
point.
sick sense of humor. That's my cross to bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I like these ideas
Okay.
and more
And more?
to come.
All right.
So, with that said, I think this is the part where we united Hail Satan.
All right.
No,
How about so?
we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.